PokerStatic.com. We bring you the interviews you want to hear. Now with your hosts, Bret Oliverio and Eric Bickel, the Poker Static Hot Seat.
What's up? Welcome to the Poker Static Hot Seat. Bret Oliverio with Eric Bickel, and joining us today is, a different guest than we've had on in the past. Normally,
I can't do it.
she can't take the pressure of the Poker Static Hot Seat. It's Kimberly Lansing. Of course, Kimberly is an anchor for the World Poker Tour. What's up,
yes,
Kimberly?
I am.
How's it going?
It's going well. Actually, the past 2 hours, the Blue Angels have been flying over my house in San Francisco. So
awesome.
My dog's going crazy. I'm half deaf, but it's a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah, because we've seen that in Annapolis. It's super loud, right? Are they getting really low?
Yeah, they're really low. But you can hear them. I mean, I was like, it seemed like it was like 10 feet from me, and it was really like a little teeny speck in the sky. So they're practicing because on Saturday – they have it's called Fleet Week here.
Right.
So it's very cool, especially in San Francisco, because right now, in the summer, it's freezing and disgustingly cold. I mean, I'm wearing Uggs in July here. And so we have this Indian summer where it's beautiful and sunny and you can wear, a tank top and jeans and be comfortable. So it's a great time for them to be out here because, as you know, it's a very foggy city. So this weekend it's going to be really nice.
Awesome.
Now, let me ask you this. Is it, I was reading, I forgot which celebrity. I was reading a tweet from, it might have been Kanye. I don't know. It was one of these celebrities that were saying it's too early to wear Uggs. Do you sort of disagree with that?
Not in San Francisco. I mean, it's like in San Francisco, it's colder than most places in the world in the summer. So what am I?
Gotcha.
I mean, yeah.
You got to keep your feet
It's like
warm.
Kanye is like, it's like no white after Labor Day. It's like no Uggs before December for Kanye.
Now we were talking off the air, and you were in LA for a handful of years, and you just recently moved to San Francisco. What brought you out to San Francisco, and are you enjoying it?
A dude brought me out to San Francisco.
Nice.
My fiance, we were dating back and forth for 2 years, and flying got really old every weekend, and so he convinced me to make the move.
But it's great, though, right? I mean, San Francisco, for me, one of the 3 best cities in the country, no doubt. Some of the best eating, right? Some of the best restaurants that you'll find.
Yeah.
Right?
For sure. I'm up 15 pounds.
I don't believe that.
Don't work out anymore. No, I'm kidding. It's a wonderful town, and I'm always one for change. I mean, when I graduated from high school, in California, I moved to Florida, to be a gator for a year just because I wanted to do something new, and then of course I went back to SoCal and I went to USC. But I'm always looking for just a change of scenery, and so this is it's a great place to be. I mean, I could be stuck in the middle of Paducah right now, but
right.
It's true. I am in one of the greatest cities in the world, I think.
Now
have you done that sort?
Go ahead, Bret.
Have you done the sort of hack thing and drove by the Full House? It's right there in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Have you done that?
They're I call them the pink ladies, but I think that's not the correct term for this row of homes in San Francisco. But actually, my first weekend out here, I said, "Take me to the pink ladies," and
nice.
And I got a photo with them. And but I think I saw them when I was 12, so it was a little bit reminiscent of being a kid and very excited to see where the Tanners lived. But honestly, I don't even know where they are. I mean, we're in the marina, but they're somewhere a little bit further south from us. But yeah, they're very cool.
Now, you studied broadcast journalism in school, is that right? And did you also
Yes,
model at the same time, or why do I feel you never did?
Well, I mean, I would wait tables, in Beverly Hills, and someone would say, "Oh, hey, can you do this thing for Walmart?" So I would pose for a couple of photos in a studio for Walmart or whatever, but nothing serious. So I don't consider I was never a model. I'm 5'6", so it's tough to do that when you're a shrimp in that world. I'm a shrimp.
Right.
And you graduated in 2003 from USC with a degree in broadcast journalism.
Oh, great. Why don't you just tell everyone I'm in my late 20s?
No, you're 28, 29?
I'm not hiding it. Unlike a lot of women in my industry, I should probably forge how old I am, but I don't. I'm 29, and I'm proud to be the age that I've been and to have experienced what I have experienced up until this point. And I'm happy to say that I'm gonna be 30 next year.
Yeah, but I'm sure you still get carded everywhere you go. Yeah. I mean, you look like a young chick.
I go. I mean, I'm an idiot. I went wine tasting and forgot my frickin' driver's license, and so I had to watch my friends drink all day.
Oh my God.
It sucked. So yeah, I have to bring my ID or else I'm not getting in.
So that's a good thing.
Good genes.
So you graduated in 2003, then you got a job with you got a bunch of different jobs, and it looks like People Magazine, correct?
Yeah, I broke into the business at Us Weekly. I was there for a couple months and then went straight over to People Magazine and started writing for the Associated Press, doing red carpets for them. And then Hollywood.com is kind of what got me started on camera, because I wanted to explore that part of the business because that's what I majored in. But I really enjoy the writing aspect, and I don't ever see myself not writing because it's how I express myself. And I'm a trained reporter. So, and I think I had that in me growing up anyway. I've always been very curious and nosy. So, I put that to use, that talent to use, on red carpets with celebrities, and it worked really well.
Perfect. Well, Bret and I do a morning show. We're part of a morning show in D.C., and so we're pop culture junkies. Mm-hmm. Not only are we poker junkies, we're pop culture junkies, and, we watch Jersey Shore, and we get all the magazines. And I was reading that you were in Maui or somewhere with Britney, and you were at clubs with Lindsay Lohan when she was a teenager. Give us some of these stories.
Well, I'm saving most of them for my book, but I will divulge a little bit.
Good.
No, I had, I was a red carpet reporter for People Magazine, but I also had the opportunity to go behind the scenes a little bit and hang out in areas where, they flew me out to Maui to check out, what Britney Spears and K-Fed were doing the weekend that they got engaged. And, I didn't do anything illegal, and I wasn't a paparazzi. I'm not a photographer. But I reported on, if you find out that someone's in a club, underage drinking, or, making out on a beach in Hawaii, there are people there, there are reporters there that are witnessing it.
What?
So I had the opportunity to do that.
So were you spying? You were undercover almost?
Yeah, I was kind of spying.
That's awesome. Yeah. So would you get
It's crazy. They would send me out, and I'd rack up these crazy bills for the week, being out and vacationing in Maui, but actually doing my job. I never snuck into her room or anything, but when she was on the beach, I was on the beach.
Wow.
And I saw what all the tourists saw, but the tourists aren't working for the biggest entertainment magazine in America and getting paid to be there.
That's awesome.
So did you know,
Yeah, it was very interesting.
You would know in advance what hotel they were going to be at? Would you get tipped as to what restaurants they were going to, that whole thing?
Yeah, everything. There are people behind the scenes that know, before people are getting married and think it's a secret, they find out. I found out where J-Lo was getting married before J-Lo knew it. It's a crazy world, and it was obviously I haven't done it in a long time, but it was quite the experience, and I was really good at it because it was like a natural ability to, I guess, do back reporting and talk to the right people and get in with the right people and I had a lot of fun. It was cool.
But eventually, I imagine their handlers and even the celebrities themselves, they might sort of recognize you. And I mean, did anyone sort of rat you out? Like, hey, that chick's for this magazine or People magazine or... were you spotted?
No, I didn't do a whole lot of that because the majority of my work was on red carpets interviewing people. I went out. I loved. Don't get me wrong. I loved being sent to Hawaii or Vancouver or wherever, but I didn't do a whole lot of it. So no, they didn't, and I wasn't like in their face. Like, I would know what was going on a lot of times without even being there because I know, someone would call me from a restaurant and let me know, or I would know the driver of, this person. So a lot of reporting comes from just knowing the right people and having connections.
When you did the red carpet interviews, was that like, that's so awkward and forced, and you always have to ask about the stupid dress, and nobody cares. Who was cool with that, and how was all that?
Well, it's very, very awkward and forced. In fact, that's what led to my decision to leave that part of the media because it was back in February at a premiere with what's his name? Well, Emily Blunt, and I don't know why I'm blanking on.
What movie was it?
Okay. Who's okay, now I need to look this up. But anyway, I interviewed like all these huge stars, and I don't know why I'm blanking on it right now. But I was over it. I was like, all these conversations are so forced. I'm not talking to them about anything interesting right now. They're repeating everything that they've said to the last person, and you try to be original and try to get more stuff out of them that is original, but I don't know. I was over it. I want to get a little bit more deep with people, and I just felt like it was like, I don't know. It's so saturated right now.
But I think you did a good job.
Well, okay.
Do you remember?
I sort of stumbled across your demo reel, and I mean, you got Denzel Washington, George Clooney. I want to say Matt Damon. I mean, any of these, anyone, even though you only had a couple minutes with them, probably any one of these stars, and you seemed natural, and you got the conversation going and kept it lively. Any of these stars sort of, blow you away? Were you starstruck by anyone, or was it just a job and you were gonna get your questions in and move on?
Yeah. Okay, so really quickly, the movie was The Wolfman with Emily Blunt and Anthony Hopkins and Benicio del Toro.
Okay, nice.
Who are all very big people. And actually, the one time that I was nervous to do an interview was at a junket, maybe like 3 years ago, interviewing Anthony Hopkins because he's such an icon. But yeah, I mean, Denzel is. As you can see in my reel, we had a great rapport. He's wonderful. George Clooney, charming. Brad Pitt, like such a flirt. It's great when you can interview people who are excited to be there and don't take themselves too seriously. But I think the media builds celebrities up so much that their egos are just like ridiculous, and then dealing with publicists a lot of the times for these stars, it's a shit show. It really is.
So how did you make the transition into poker then? I understand from reading and doing some background, you had a boyfriend that taught you how to play. Your dad sort of owned a gaming business or something of that nature, where he sold poker tables and, I don't know, jukeboxes, that sort of thing.
Yes, and if you need one, go to jukeboxbiz.com.
Perfect.
Oh, nice plug.
So you were familiar. You loved poker, and then what? Did you stalk on the red carpet? Even did you do a WPT event and you stalk some of the producers there and try to say, hey, can I work with you? Is that how that works? Yeah.
Really, Eric? Well, basically, how it all happened was. So my boyfriend at the time, who I'm friends with now, he said, I got to teach you how to play poker. I love the game, and I know, knowing your personality, you're just absolutely going to fall in love with it. And so we were at my dad's store in Palm Springs, and he sat me down at a poker table, one of the poker tables that my dad sells. And he taught me how to play, and he wrote down all the different types of hands and the possibilities. And he said, first you have to study this. And then I started watching the World Poker Tour and the World Series of Poker and playing online. And then my first live game was sitting in a hotel room. I want to say in Santa Monica, and I was working. I was actually, funny enough, working for People magazine. My girlfriend Margie and I, who were both reporters for the magazine, we were doing something. It was like I think Britney Spears was getting married or something like that. And so we had downtime, and the three of us sat down with grapes because that's all we had, and we played with grapes. And the losers. 2 losers had to streak the hotel naked, like run around the hotel halls naked.
Nice.
And so that was my idea. That was my idea because
that's a brilliant idea, mind you.
Right.
I've seen both of them. Listen, they've both seen me naked, so I don't really care.
Right.
Hold on. Who are these two? Who were the 2 people you were playing with?
One of my best friends, and she's one of my bridesmaids. So whatever. She's seen me naked. Right. Who cares? Right. And my boyfriend at the time.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Oh my God! Tell me it didn't freeze her in the best part. All right, now, so after probably the worst beat we've taken in a while, we have Kimberly Lansing back on, and we left off right in the middle of probably the best part of the interview, at least for us, Eric.
Right.
And she was telling us about her first live poker experience. She was with her boyfriend at the time and her best friend who is now her bridesmaid. And why don't you talk a little bit about set that back up for us, Kimberly?
So we're in this hotel room and we're playing with grapes, because there was nothing else to play with and we didn't have any money. So I decided, okay, we have to make this worth something, so we try to win. So I thought the 2 losers should run through the hotel naked, like streak through the hotel hallways.
Perfect.
And so listen, I have nothing to lose here because both of them have seen me naked, right? Boyfriend, friend, whatever. You're changing on vacation,
right?
Whatever. Right. And they haven't seen each other naked,
right?
So I'm like, this could be an amazingly awkward situation if I win,
right?
So guess what happens?
You win.
I win.
Perfect.
I win. No one.
Yeah, but hold on.
No one pays up.
Hold on.
No one pays up.
I wanted to ask you about the psychology there, because is your friend hot? Is she a good-looking chick?
Yeah, she's totally cute. I didn't, we were all just like total buddies. I wasn't worried that he'd get turned on by her.
Yeah, but like my chick, I wouldn't mind seeing her hottest friend naked. So I would purposely lose if I was him, because he gets to see you naked anytime he would want. And now he gets to see your friend. It's perfect.
Right. I don't think he played it well.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if he wanted to see her naked.
Gotcha. Okay.
Oh, sure he did.
Totally adorable.
Oh, sure he did.
He could have. But both of them got really embarrassed and were like, "No, we're not doing this." And they still have yet to pay me back.
Oh my God! You must have been furious.
I was pissed. That's. It's like someone betting you, $1,000 and not paying up.
No, it's way better than that.
That's as good as $1,000 to me.
Oh, it's way more than that.
I want to sort of tell you guys where I first saw you, Kimberly. I guess it was back in maybe 2007, where I was just going through the internet, looking on some message boards, and I sort of stumbled across these almost like webcam type videos that you were doing, but they were really cool because here's this really pretty chick who knew how to talk poker, and you're with the biggest names in poker, sort of have them, they're opening up to you. You're having casual poker conversations.
Yeah.
And even just a couple of years ago, you really didn't see much of that. Why don't you talk a little bit about sort of how you started there? Because, that's where I first saw you, and I remember.
Yeah. Nothing really existed like that where it was really laid back and whatever goes, and it was like a little teeny webcam that we were working with. And so I just, instead of making it like this, like very uncomfortable conversation with people, I wanted to show people out there that were following live updates. And I mean, honestly, I was like, there's probably 10 people watching this right now, so let's just have fun with it. And I wanted to show people these guys' personalities, because as I was getting to know them, I was like, wow, these are some really interesting people that I'm talking to. And what they do for a living is, like, I mean, they're taking major risks, and they're doing things that mainstream people, like, that go to an office 9 to 5, they can't even, like, imagine the amount of money that these people are even playing with. And to a lot of the poker players out there, that the professionals, I mean, a $10,000 buy-in is nothing to them. So it's a totally different world than many people are used to, and I wanted to show that and show the personalities. And so I just wanted to do that in a really fun way that was entertaining and that went along with the whole webcam idea, because it wasn't for TV. You know, it was, like, small, and I wanted to keep it like that and kind of wacky.
And that was something you were just doing?
Because
was that something you were just doing on your own, or was that also in conjunction with the WPT? Were they putting it on their website, or?
Yeah, I was not doing it on my own. I was employed by the World Poker Tour. So, yeah, it had never been done on the World Poker Tour before, and we met, and they said, this is what we're kind of looking for. We don't really know exactly what kind of a tone or what kind of a vibe you'll bring that, but we kind of just want to see where it goes. So I showed up at Mandalay, which was the second tournament of season 6, and they're like, just do it, we'll do whatever you want to do. And so we sat there, you know, learning how to use the webcam, and with horrendous lighting, and me not really knowing anyone, and just getting people over and talking to me and seeing where it went. And then I think through the season it progressed into something really fun, and then we were sponsored by Blue Diamond Almonds, so we had fun giving away the almonds, and you know, it became like a lot of fun. I hope that the players had fun with it too, and I hope that they still do, because we're still doing that now.
Yeah, and I know they definitely did. It was one of these things, Eric, where she would literally just, like, reach across and, like, turn on the webcam and just all of a sudden start talking casually to these guys. And I wanted to ask you, you know, when you're a poker player, you can sort of spot somebody, especially a chick, if she doesn't know how to talk poker correctly. And was that one of the things that you were worried about going into these interviews? I mean, because you're sitting down with Barry Greenstein, Daniel Negreanu, Madison. I mean, all the guys. Were you worried about, hey, you know, I not only have to look this part, but I have to be able to talk the part as well?
Well, I mean, I already knew how to play the game, so it was really down to listening, and that's what I found in any kind of an interview, whether it's entertainment or poker. You have to really listen to what the person's saying so you can have a conversation and ask follow-up questions. So, you know, I was never really concerned about it, because I'm a reporter, but I'm not just like a strategic, let's just talk about your hands. Like, I want to talk about, you know, how your day's gone, what you've been doing since the last tournament, and also about what's going on in the current tournament and how it's going for them. So I was never really concerned about that. Yeah, it just never really crossed my mind.
Anybody ever say no?
Because I was comfortable.
Anybody ever say no to you? Everybody, or were they always cool? I'm guessing they were always cool, and probably virtually nobody said no to you.
Yeah, I'm trying to think who said no. Oh, I'm blanking on the guy's name. It might be like Kofi. I believe he won or almost. He was at the final table of Niagara Falls.
Okay.
I think that's when Jonathan Little might have won.
Okay.
Kofi something.
Okay.
I'm blanking. It was 3 years ago. But he did not want to do an interview. But he was really camera shy, and I don't force it on people. I mean, if they don't want to do it, then I don't want to do it. You know, it's about having fun and bringing entertainment to a poker tournament, and so of course I don't want to force anyone, and that's totally fine.
Now, Eric, I did see an interview where I guess some of the poker players, like their wives or their girlfriends, would kind of sort of give you a look out of the corner of their eye.
I bet.
Sometimes when you would sit down with their guy.
Wait, did you see them give me a look?
No. I saw an interview where you were talking about this. You were like, yeah, everyone's really cool, but there are times when, like, a girlfriend or a wife will sort of give me a look out of the corner of her eye, like, why are you trying to talk to my guy?
Yeah, I just think it's just a natural thing that women have. They're protective over their men, and I understand that, and I would never hit on anyone that I was interviewing except for my current fiance.
Who is that, by the way? What's his name?
Zach Hyman.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does he play?
He does. He actually bubbled the final table at Bellagio back in July, my first tournament back. So
oh, wow. Awesome.
That would have been a lot of fun to have him, but unfortunately the night turned out not so great when I think he had ace-queen and he ran into 5-3 offsuit.
Oh, my God.
Then I think the guy spiked like a 5 or something. It was crazy. Yeah, he plays, and I think he's good, but I'm a little biased.
So then a couple years.
Sorry, what?
No, I was going to say a couple years ago, and then, I'm watching these updates, during the tournaments, and then, boom, all of a sudden you disappear, and I read maybe you're moving on to some other things, in Hollywood and some more entertainment reporting stuff. What did you do on your, couple-year hiatus from the World Poker Tour?
I got a job at AOL working for their movie phone website. They were just putting together a show called Movie Phone Minute. It was like a 1-minute long entertainment gossip show, and I was their first host, and I wrote it. I hosted it. I, towards the last few months, produced it, and it was great. I mean, I was on a teleprompter the entire time, and so and I did some red carpets, but it was very different than what I was doing at the World Poker Tour. But it was great. I mean, I had a lot of fun experiences, and I added some fun stuff to my reel, and it was a good experience. And then I kind of got over entertainment. I got a little burnt out, and this was the perfect next move for me coming back.
Now, how did that happen? Did they approach you, or did you approach them? Was it a mutual thing? How did that come about?
Yeah, they called me, and we set up a meeting, and it went really well. And we talked about the direction of the World Poker Tour and where we both saw it going, and we were really on the same wavelength, and we agreed with everything that was going on, and that we all wanted to see. I think it was really a group effort, and everyone just coming together and switching it up. And I love what's happening, with the Raw deal, and with, of course, myself, and I just think it's going in a great direction. So a couple months later, they called me and said, come on board. We want to have you back. And, of course, I happily obliged.
Now, because there's a lot of new things, though, right? Because they've hired you. They've got Matthew Savage now, right? He's going to be directing all the events and determining structure and everything. And then you added Tony Dunst, too, right?
Yes, Tony Dunst. I don't believe I've met him, but I'm looking forward to it. I'll probably meet him on Friday, day 1 of Bellagio. Yeah. Now, what's
each role going to be for you guys? Did I read somewhere like you're going to be like anchoring? They referred to it as anchoring. What you're going to be doing?
Yeah. Yeah. So I have been since July. We've had Bellagio, and then Legends at the Bike, and then Atlantic City, and now Bellagio again. And so, I've been anchoring the show, and basically that entails everything a normal television anchor would do, which is I open the show. I bring another aspect as far as, before the WPT, they really just showed the final table, and that was it. And now we're doing like background stories and player profiles, and adding a lot of different aspects to the show, so it's not just a bunch of poker hands.
Right.
And so I think it's great. I'm kind of like the central hub, and I'm having so much fun doing it.
And from what I've been told, a lot has been made of attendance in these big buy-in tournaments. Attendance has been down, but I guess over the the last 3 straight domestic tournaments, the attendance has been up. And in fact, at the WPT Borgata, which is, a couple hours away from where we are in D.C., there was the largest WPT field in, I guess, your 9-year history, which is kind of cool. So I guess players are starting to come back to the World Poker Tour.
Yeah, I mean, it's really, really exciting. And especially, that's really exciting, the 1,040 people that we had, because a lot of the pros were out playing WSOP events in Europe. And so, I mean, I was really surprised to get that great, number. But, we're not expecting anything to happen overnight, and it takes time. But I think where it's headed is phenomenal, and it's exciting for all of us because we're seeing that all the changes that we've made are starting to slowly pay off, and we're getting a lot of the players back that we haven't seen, and new people and young people, and and old people. It's really great to see, and it's exciting, that there's a great energy that's back to the WPT that I remember having during season 6.
I'm embarrassed to admit this because I haven't watched a lot of the WPT in the last, couple years, but I know that early on, one of the criticisms was the structure, and that you would finally get to the final table, and it was just a shove fest for everybody.
Yeah.
That's been corrected largely at this point, right? Or no?
Yeah, I think it has been corrected, and again, it's a work in progress, and I think Matt Savage is going to do an excellent job this year in working that out, because the whole point is to make the players and the casino happy, and so I think it's going in a really good direction.
Good.
Now, what's sort of like a typical day or week for you when you're at these casinos? Because, obviously you're working and you're covering these tournaments, but, I follow you on Twitter, and, you posted a picture of yourself out of the club. I mean, so is there a lot of downtime where you can?
Pumping.
Yeah. Of course, you were in Jersey. You had to, beat up that beat.
I had to.
So what's it like for you, like a week there? Like, how much are you working? How many hours a day? And, of course, what are you doing on your downtime?
Well, it depends on what casino we're at, because every casino, every tournament's different. But let me see, what's a typical day? Well, I'm there from the beginning of every single day. I'm at the Shuffle Up and Deal. And I, like at Bellagio, I have a photo shoot scheduled, for the weekend, and I meet with different people, and I'm there at every single break. I'm usually there during the play, but 100% there at every break, because we try to get interviews like we did in season 6 for WorldPokerTour.com. And and then after we're finished playing on day 1 and 2, I do interviews for the TV show. So I'll usually interview someone who won the tournament in the past, or who made the final table in the past. We kind of catch up. What are they up to now, and how are they doing in the current tournament? And then my downtime is really spent just relaxing, and I'll go out to dinner or hang out with some friends at the World Poker Tour, or go grab a coffee with one of the poker players I'm friends with. So I try to make it a well-rounded week. And then in Vegas, of course, I can check out a new restaurant, or because there's always something exciting going on. And I think this tournament, I'm bringing Chloe. I'll show you Chloe right now.
All right.
This little... Do you see her?
Yeah.
Say hi, Chloe.
She's sleeping. What kind of dog is it?
A wiener dog.
Oh, nice.
She, it's very hot here right now. It's never like 89 degrees, and it is boiling. So she's trying to stay cool in the shade. But anyway, I think I'm going to bring her. I think I'm going to bring her to Bellagio, because I'm going to miss her, because I come home for 5 days, and then we go to Connecticut, and I'm like so attached to this dog that I think I'm going to have to bring her with me to Bellagio.
Kimberly.
She loves playing the slots.
After we taped the first half of this, before we had the technical difficulties, some of the guys that watched it said, you got to get her to stand up, and we got to see her whole body. We're not doing her justice just getting her from the neck up.
I know. There was like 10 different dudes that told me that, because a couple people watched it and previewed it, and they're like, dude,
got to get her to stand up.
See her face.
Yeah, come on.
I didn't know that it was up yet.
No, just guys behind the
No.
scenes.
Yeah, it's just some producers for the website.
Yeah, you got to stand up.
I'm not. I mean, I'm like bumming around the house right now.
That's fine.
I know. You just got back from the gym.
Are you wearing
I
pants?
wish I was wearing my sweatpants right now.
What are you wearing?
Okay, fine. Hang on.
All right. Uh-oh.
She's in her underwear, I think.
No, I'm not in my underwear. I'm wearing striped shorts.
Oh, you weren't supposed to hear that.
There you go.
You should have just said, yeah, I am.
That's how I dress at home. I look like a clown.
No, that's funny.
Perfect.
So, now, obviously, this is your full-time job, I imagine. Do you have any other side projects in the works, or are you just focusing on strictly the WPT?
Right now, it's just WPT. I'm planning a wedding, which is taking up a little bit of my time. And, I'm just, I have to admit, I have a pretty good life right now. I just
sounds like it.
Like in between tournaments, like my life is very blessed. I work out and do some charity work, and
What about playing?
The dream, I guess.
What about playing? You have don't you have a final table on your resume?
No.
Nothing?
Gosh, I have a close to a final table on my resume. It's really bad. I took 8th in the WPT Celebrity Invitational. So I felt just the pain of not making it and getting so close. And bubbling the TV final table and the money, because 6th and 7th went out at the same time.
Gotcha.
And 6 people make the final table. So, but I was very happy with that accomplishment, and hopefully it proved to some of the guys who thought I've never held a chip in my life that I actually knew what I was doing. And let's see, I'm going to be playing in, I don't know, they didn't really tell me the details yet, but I am going to be playing in a little tournament with Mike and Vince at Foxwoods. I think it's, I don't know, on October 30th or November 1st or somewhere around there.
Do you play online?
I do play online. Yeah.
What games do you play?
Tournaments, cash?
I like, my favorite are just like just turbo,
Sit and goes?
Sit and goes. Just, I don't have the patience. I've played in some of these tournaments with Zach. We'll both be sitting right here, chair number 1 and chair number 2, and sitting on a Sunday drinking Chardonnay and playing in a tournament. And I don't have the patience, really. I just like the quick or just little cash games, but I really like the sit and goes. Those are my favorite.
Nice. All right. Well, if people want to play you online, what's your screen name online?
Truffle pasta, because it's my favorite thing to eat in the entire world.
What's truffle pasta? I've never heard of that.
It used to be pupu kaka, Pupukaka,
right?
But then it changed to truffle pasta. Truffles, they look like little turds, but they are the tastiest little things in the entire world. It's actually a mushroom, and just go get yourself some truffle oil, some white truffle oil, and put it on your pasta or your eggs or whatever.
Right.
Hey, how do you feel about all like the internet poker players on the message boards? Just because if you go on 2+2 and you search your name, I mean, there's pages and pages of people. First off, does she have a boyfriend? Is she married? Some people back in like 06 or 07 thought like you had done porno. There was a chick named I think I have it in my notes, like Kimberly Cole, maybe?
Really?
I don't know. You might have read about this, but she does look a lot like you. And couple of the still
a porn
shots.
Star?
Yeah, and a couple of the still shots they posted, it's like, whoa, maybe that is her. But then, I looked into it further, and it's certainly not. But,
Definitely not.
do you keep up with the poker message boards, or do you sort of just, ignore it?
You know what? Every once in a while I'll go on, because there are some really funny threads in there. There was one that I read. I was really bored, go figure, on a flight from Philly to San Francisco, and they had go in-flight Wi-Fi. And so I was on my iPad, and I was like, I'm going to go on to 2+2. And I saw the funniest thread about, I forget what it was called, but it was about poker, like the old school photos of poker players. Like I think it was called When They Were Fresh or something like that. And I was literally laughing out loud on the airplane, and people were looking at me like I was crazy. So yeah, every once in a while I'll go on, maybe once every 4 months. But I was told early on, I remember back in season 6, someone sent me, I didn't even know what these blogs were. I'd never even heard of them. And my friend wrote me a message on Facebook saying, oh, her boyfriend saw this thread about me. And I was like, what? And so I went to Jeff, one of my coworkers at Live Updates. I said, what is this? And he's like, no, don't read that. You're not allowed to read that. And so I listened to him because I don't care what people have to say about me that I don't know. Because obviously, if they're going to say I used to be a porn star, then it's like whatever. You can't let that bother me at all. But I do like to see what the general consensus is out there. Just if everyone out there is saying, "Oh my God, Kim," blah 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 blah, then or something about the way I'm interviewing, then I'll read it and then I'll make adjustments based on if it's like that bad. But
no. Let me say this: the overwhelming response is very, very positive. Everything from your interviewing style to how you look on camera. So a lot of props are given to you. Just so you know.
Well, thanks. I think that there are a lot of really supportive people out there, and that's really what I pay attention to. If I read anything negative, and like you said, I really haven't read too much bad stuff. And one person said I had an overbite, but I don't.
No, you don't.
See?
No, you don't. You have
and
good
you have
teeth.
nice white teeth.
Yeah, you do.
Thanks.
Hey, Kim.
I bleached them. I bleached them when I was 16.
And they're still
and
holding
I'm a
up?
lot older than you.
Wow.
Yeah, and I drink coffee and tea and.
Do you smoke?
I don't know. Never smoked a cigarette in my life.
Good answer.
Never even tried a cigarette in my life.
Good answer.
Can we see your ring just to put us on tilt?
Sure.
All right.
Wait.
I'm gonna.
Hang on.
I just
put you on tilt.
Yeah, we're just because here's the thing: when hot chicks get engaged, it's
beautiful.
Puts guys on tilt.
Right.
Yeah, it's awesome. Congratulations.
By the way,
thank you.
Have you followed the whole Bret Favre saga over the last few days and the dong shots?
Yeah. So
any poker players sent you dong shots in the last 2 years?
Not that I can recall.
You sure?
They're all gentlemen. I can promise you that. To me, they are. Behind the scenes, I don't know, but they're all really nice guys. To be honest, I haven't gotten any. I have never felt uncomfortable.
Oh, okay.
And that's. I feel lucky.
Well, if you ever get one
surrounded by men, I mean, you guys are.
All right.
You guys are very different than women.
If you ever get one from Phil Live, you have to forward it to me immediately, just because.
You want to look at it?
Not sending me anything.
I'm kind of gay for that guy. I'm gonna be honest. Just kidding.
Oh,
just
really?
kidding. Yes.
Do
Who isn't?
share.
No. Well, listen. I think you're great for the game of poker. I love watching you on TV. I love watching you on WPT.com.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
And thanks for coming on because, I know it's sort of you've been dealing with some personal stuff and then we had those connection issues. So thanks for rejoining us for part 2 of the interview.
I had fun, you guys, and thank you for the support. It means a lot.
Thank you. All right, well,
welcome.
next time we're out in Vegas and you're there at the same time, we'll have to catch up and we'll buy you a beer.
December. You gonna come out in December?
Well, we got to.
No?
We probably won't be there until next summer, to be
Maybe.
honest with you.
Next
we'll
summer?
But we'll track you down.
Oh.
Okay. You'll wait for us.
Okay. You guys can come to Foxwood. I'll wait for you. Me and my computer. I'll be logged on to OOVO. What's it called? Is it called Uvu?
Uvu, yeah.
Uvu.
It's a cool program, right? Hey,
it is cool when it works.
Right.
How can people follow you on Twitter?
Oh, Kimberly_WPT.
Perfect.
Nice.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Great.
Well, thank you very much,
right,
Kim.
so-
Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank
And
you
that was
guys.
Kimberly Lansing on the Poker Static Hot Seat. We'll see you guys next week.